A very warm welcome back to today's aviation news recap. Korean Air eyeing a purchase of a new aircraft which is reportedly very close. In other news, ITA is expanding their international network and Qatar Airways are planning for the future. But let's begin with that reported new aircraft order as Korean Air looks to boost its wide-body fleet offering. If completed, and per Bloomberg News reports, the airline would purchase up to 20 A350 aircraft from Airbus as part of its future fleet planning. The Airbus A350 has yet to be featured with Korean Air. However, with older Boeing 777s present, a purchase would allow for the continued modernization of its wide-body long-haul offering. More efficiency would also arrive at the business and greater customer satisfaction levels, two key areas for focus for the airline. With an announcement coming potentially as soon as this week if concluded through a formal meeting and to the liking of all parties, the airline would boost its commitment to the aircraft. And you may think to yourself, why on earth am I saying commitment to the aircraft when they don't fly the A350? Well, such a purchase aligns with the airline's ambition to take over Asiana Airlines. With that merger in mind and continuing to obtain relevant approvals, the airline feels a new purchase of aircraft is required. Fleet simplification is a huge focal point for their short to medium term agenda, not only as it looks to acquire Asiana, but also as it looks to become considerably more efficient, and retiring older aircraft to bring in new ones is typically how that works. Some key fleet decisions are expected to be made over the coming years, such as Korean Air making it clear that they wouldn't take on the Asiana A380 fleet. Remember, this is a type already operated by the mainline Korean. Away from passenger operations, the pair of airlines must dispose of a freight business and align them with other critical changes to get the deal approved. These essential movements, if not proceeded with, will mean such a merger will not be able to take shape. While approval has come in several locations, the airlines are still awaiting a formal decision from the United States, which is one of the last decisions required before such a takeover can be made official, and Korean Air can essentially absorb Asiana Airlines. At the moment, as I said, Korean doesn't fly the A350, but remember, Asiana Airlines relies strongly on it to fulfill its network requirements. Moving forward, critical investments such as these will be essential to allow for fleet simplification and modernization efforts. On to the next story, that is Qatar Airways, readying to enter a new era of its operations, and as part of that, the airline is looking to innovate and generate fantastic growth across the board as revealed in a newly published press release. Following a shift in executives and the departure of long-standing CEO Akbar Al-Baker, the airline and generally the broader group is ready to propel itself in a new direction. These plans will strongly focus on the following pillars, that being digital technologies, products, fleet growth, employee engagement, and many other areas on top of that too. Qatar Airways firstly went on to say that it sees fantastic demand for first class. So what has it decided to do? Well, introduce a new, unique first-class cabin. They believe this will be essential, and they're currently in the process of finalizing the colors. This deemed the final part of the process before a formal announcement can be made for the airline. Qatar believes it's one of the few airlines in our industry that is able to develop such a high-quality cabin on a consistent basis. I'd be interested to hear your take down below in the comments. Do you believe the Qatar one exceeds other airlines? Is this statement true? Or do you believe they're biting off more than they can chew? They also went on to note that they're officially 70 to 80% of the way in completion of this. Away from a new first class, we've had our first bit of news for the Farnborough Air Show, which doesn't come until July, as the company announced it'll reveal its redesigned and very premium Q Suite. This benchmark product by the airline will get upgrades that should cement itself as an industry leader, and at least what Qatar Airways hopes as a first choice in the region. Routes are another essential part of the Qatar Airways makeup. As for any airline, critical growth into new but also existing markets allows it to expand its boundaries and obviously reach new areas to propel the business. Over the following years, the airline says it will be continuing to announce not only new routes into crucial markets, but also focusing on boosting frequency into existing locations. Specifically, they have targeted the likes of China and India as two locations where they believe there will be a lot of increased demand, and therefore new routes and boosts in frequencies will be announced and subsequently launched. The debut of new routes and boosting frequencies aligns with the airline's ambition of being a leader and remaining competitive in its region. Customer experience must be also a primary focus, and that doesn't necessarily stop just inside of the cabin. It's in all areas. Qatar says that customer experience can extend to the routes it flies, and also the experience inside airports. If you have a bad experience in, say, Doha, you'll remember it. As a result, Qatar Airways says they're going to focus heavily on further digital innovation, which should smooth out that stressful process for passengers inside the airport. On to the final story. ITA Airways has unveiled plans to boost its flying schedule across an international network that is only seeing demand grow. Following a new announcement, the airline will explicitly look at enhancing service between Italy and Japan. An additional 2 frequencies will enhance non-stop flights, meaning the capitals of Rome and Tokyo will be connected by daily flights moving forward. ITA actually says they recorded above expected load factors across their services between Rome and Tokyo Haneda, which has sparked interest in obviously improving the service offering. The airline goes on to add that daily flights provide a fantastic means to travel for business and or leisure customers. See, for this route pairing, both are targeted equally on the route segment. The long-haul market alongside medium-haul flights is a crucial focus of ITA Airways, with North America, Africa, and Middle Eastern markets all of focus equally as well. Several routes will be inaugurated in the coming months as part of a comprehensive upgrade to the service offering. We will see a new direct flight in April towards Chicago in the United States. By May, ITA says it'll begin serving Toronto and Riyadh. These locations, alongside with Kuwait, Jeddah, and many more, will all be important pillars in ensuring their long-term success. That is going to conclude today's aviation news recap. As I always say, thank you very much for the support here on the channel, and again, apologies for any issues with the audio quality. I am sat in a basement in Canada right next to a laundry, so there may be some additional background noise, but still doing my very best to get this content out for you and appreciate you tuning in nevertheless. Take care, be safe. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow for your latest industry developments.